I'm here with Yuval Bolger of Wi-Charge, and as soon as I walked by, I got excited because we're talking about something that's near and dear to our heart, which is the very fine grid edge, all these little devices that are making our lives or improving our lives, but how to go about powering them. So it's kind of a remarkable claim, but if you can see something right here, there's a train, and well, what's going on? Tell me in your own words.
So the need to deliver power wirelessly has been around for a long time. It's almost like the last mile of power delivery up to the device itself. And people have tried different approaches to do that. We use infrared light. It's the same type of light that's in your remote control, same type of light that's part of the solar energy. And this is almost like indoor solar energy. We've got an energy source that's such as the one on top. It's sending a thin beam of infrared invisible light, and that's getting received by this essentially small solar cell, converted back into electricity, and then can be used to power or charge devices.
This is remarkable. So you're sending infrared light from that device down, which is probably 1.5 meters, 2 meters, to a device that's actually collecting that infrared energy, infrared light, and then converting it through a process to actually create movement. So you get energy. What's the power capabilities here?
So we've got a number of different products. On the high end, we can deliver up to 2 watts of usable power and up to about 30 feet of distance, about 10 meters of distance.
Wow, so 30 feet, 10 meters, that's more than you would need inside of the home. You could have multiples. Does it need to be line of sight?
Well, it needs to be line of sight, but typically what you do is you install it on the ceiling, like a light bulb, and then it can see most of the devices in the room.
So it's like up where you'd have a smoke detector or something like that, you have now wireless, infrared-based power for the grid edge.
That's correct. And if you look at the new device that we're showing at the show, it's small enough to be either plugged into an outlet, just like a CO2 detector, a carbon monoxide detector, or with the right screw could replace the light bulb. Imagine unscrewing a light bulb, putting this in, and now you've got wireless power for your entire room.
You know, it really speaks to making these devices that are creating value in our lives, but making them a more reasonable way to be integrated, right? Because now we have all these little DC plugs, and one of the things, we had a conversation with a guy, his name's Brian Patterson, who's about DC AC hybrid grids, right? And so he talked a lot about at the grid edge, we're rectifying energy and there's all these losses and we're going from AC, DC, AC, DC. So this is really interesting because we're able to cut a lot of that out and go directly from a light source, which is remarkable.
Yeah, and there are a couple of different advantages. One is that you could eliminate the battery replacement or recharging. Some people are hesitant to adopt smart home devices because they don't want to run the wires and they don't want to mess with the batteries. Other people are concerned about the environmental impact of batteries. You know, you're basically burying toxic material into the ground. And with this, you sort of have endless power, much more than the battery could deliver, which also allows you to go into the next generation of smart home devices because you're no longer power limited. Smart lock could have Wi-Fi or 5G. It could have face recognition. A speaker could be anywhere you want.
So it takes that stopgap of power being the issue out of these smart devices and allows that innovation to flourish, is what I'm hearing.
Exactly, because today manufacturers have sort of a bad choice. They could go with power cords, but then they're tethered to the wall, or they could go with batteries that need to be replaced, recharged, and are inconvenient. And this is sort of the third way of power delivery that combines the best of both worlds. Much more power than batteries, but with the freedom of movement and location that batteries provide.
Very interesting stuff here. I haven't seen this before. Is this really a new concept? How long have you been around?
So we've shown it at the very first time 2 years ago. We've since obtained all the safety approvals. We're now announcing a slew of partners that are integrating this technology into their devices because they see the value. Customers that say, oh, battery is the number one problem for our customers. It's almost like Wi-Fi. I mean, Wi-Fi by itself didn't deliver any new functionality. You could connect to the internet via a cable, but all of a sudden it allowed you to use the internet in places that you couldn't do before. And this does the same thing for power.
Wow, and then what about, where do you see this going in the future? Do you see expanded power capabilities? Do you see expanded ranges? I mean, anytime we talk about energy being transferred wirelessly, it's a very hot topic, right? I mean, the history of energy is kind of like, that's at its foundation, right? A history of electricity. So what do you see happening in the future?
So just like any technology, I think you're going to see it smaller, faster, farther, and so on. So you start by saying, I can charge a smart lock. Then people say, okay, how about a phone? Well, we can charge a phone today. Then people say, well, how about an iPad? How about a notebook computer? How about a microwave? Then of course, at some point, we're not going to be able to do it using this technology. But any device that's battery powered in your home today is a good candidate for Wi-Charge integration.
Fascinating stuff. Didn't expect to trip over this amazing technology here. Thank you so much. Thanks for doing the hard work. And yeah, we'll look forward to seeing your products in the market soon, I hope.
Thank you very much.
All right, aloha.